On today's episode, when your mind and your mirror disagree, LB does some gray gardening and fake questions about fatty felines. All that and more on today's episode of Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg. A lost episode.
Help me out, almighty Lori Beth Denberg. Give me the vital information so I get the red thoughts to do, yeah. The church of Lori Beth is in session and we're reading from the scriptures of vital information. Talking to my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me. Oh, my goddess and my savior, my LBT. Just tell me what's going on with me. Yeah. The Lori Beth Denberg.
Hello, dear listeners. It is me, Lori Beth Denberg, and welcome to the Bad Advice Podcast.
Woo!
With me, as always, is Clark Crozer.
Hello!
Hello, Clark.
How are you?
I am doing well.
Yeah. This is fun. We haven't recorded in a week and a half.
A week and a half, yes.
Because I've been out of town.
You went again.
Costa Rica.
You went to Costa Rica.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun?
That was amazing. Yeah, we had such a great time.
Yes, I've seen many of the pictures.
We did
yes.
fun stuff. It was like the first family vacation, but we were like, it was an adventure vacation. It wasn't just you're going to Disney World or you're going to the beach. Like, we were going on adventures.
Yes.
And seeing lots of stuff with our 6-year-old. It was so much fun.
Did you drop Lex off in the jungle and tell him to make his way back to the hotel?
We did. We called him Mowgli.
Did you give him a machete?
A machete and a diaper.
He comes back all ripped and like a man. Yes, while you were gone,
Yeah.
I was here.
You were here the whole time.
House sitting and doggy sitting.
And how were Baggy and Flinny during that whole time?
Flynn is a fucking asshole.
Yes, he is.
He's much worse. It's like he's an ornery old... He was always a dick. To those who don't know, Flynn has always been an escape artist and just takes off.
Little black rat terrier dog.
Baggy does too. But here's the thing. And I asked once, I go, do they stay together? And Karen was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. But so that's always been a thing. And then Flynn will just get into everything on the counter, up there, knocking shit down.
Trash.
But now, I didn't know this. He's just a bully.
Yeah.
He doesn't let Bags eat.
Nope.
He used to put down Bags' food and Bags like wolfs it down. He has one of those spiral dishes so that he doesn't,
fast.
Dogs eat too fast and then they throw it all up. And then they're like, well, I guess I gotta eat it again.
Exactly.
Flynn goes to just not even necessarily eat his food, but just to get in the way.
Yeah. Like he'll just sit there. Or if because their bowls are kind of in a close range. He'll go and sit at his bowl, not eat any of his food, but he'll just sit at his bowl knowing that Bags won't come over.
Aww.
So that neither of them are eating.
Yeah, I moved Bags' bowl.
Yeah.
Bags is his bowl?
Bags is his bowl. The only way I figured out how to do it is that I wait to feed Bags until Flynn is already in bed with Karen.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, once he's away, then I feed him at night, and then he's fine. So
I would just, I would yell at him terribly. I would shame him. But I put Baggy's food down, and I get Flynn to come on the couch and cuddle with me.
That'll work, too.
So that worked pretty well.
Good.
I am one step closer to being able to leave the country. Because
your passport.
My passport. I went and I did all this stuff weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for it.
Now, wait a minute. Previously on,
yes.
People need to understand that one of the 2 dogs that you're currently living with just flat out ate your passport.
He didn't consume it, swallow it, and shit out my picture. But he, just chewed it and mauled it.
Yeah.
I brought it into my appointment to get the new one.
Right.
And I told the chickie, she was so nice. I told the chickie, like, what happened, and I gave her, you surrender it.
Sure.
I have a P.O. box so I can give it out for business and no one can come and find me.
Absolutely. Yeah, very
and
smart.
I've been going there and checking it, waiting for this, and I get just a letter just a thin letter from the passport bureau or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not good. Like, that's the letter you get when you're...
We've decided to not give you a passport.
I know. It's like, thin envelope means you did not get into the college.
Exactly.
So I was worried when I opened it that it was going to say, we have reviewed your case and fuck you.
Yeah, you can't leave anymore.
Love the government. But they just wanted information. They said, we need a signed letter from you explaining how your passport was mutilated or destroyed.
Okay.
And I'm like, a dog ate my passport. First of all, I'm like, they are definitely getting pictures. Right. But I thought that if I just wrote, a dog ate my passport, it might seem too glib.
Right.
So I wrote on August 17th, 2021, dash a Vizsla, and in parentheses I put a Hungarian hound, fished my passport book out of my backpack and destroyed it. In short, a dog ate my passport.
Wow.
And then I made a little collage of, I took 3 pictures of the passport, front, kind of open, and back.
Okay.
So that was 3 of the pictures. And then in the 4th one, I put a picture of Dash.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So I'm hoping that they like it, and it might be one that makes it on the wall of the office.
What if they all get confused and you end up with a passport with with the dog's face on it, with Dash's face?
Oh, that would be so cute.
Like Dash gets a passport.
Dash goes to Mexico with my friend. That is how things are going. Ay, Dios mío.
Well, that's pretty funny. I also
what?
Didn't I see the other day that on Facebook you're gonna be in something new?
Oh, yeah.
What is this?
I'm excited about. We're fundraising for it right now.
Okay.
It's a digital series called House Husbands.
Okay.
Which is written by a good friend of mine named Michael.
All right.
And it's just really cool. It's funny. It's I think there's like 8 parts to it right now, but it's just about gay men and their lives.
Okay.
Except, unlike every other thing you've seen, they're just regular people who happen to be gay.
Okay.
So there's just real people, and there's a couple married couples. And so it's really, I really like it. And it's funny. It's just really fun.
Can you disclose what you would be in this series?
It's funny. He said to me at one point, Michael, he goes, I feel like we're wasting you. I just play a therapist in one scene.
Oh, okay.
Like a frustrated therapist.
All right.
So yeah, but it's like, there's not that many chickies in it.
Yeah.
There's 3. I think including me, so there's really like 2.
All right.
It's just really good, and there's no stereotypes. Nobody's flouncing in.
I feel like, especially after a year and a half of this show, the fact that you're not being typecast as a psychologist, shrink, kind of a character in stuff is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite why.
No,
yeah.
I'm sure it's not. But
he was like, my friend's a little famous. How can I benefit from that?
Exactly. I love when you get to do new stuff. It's always fun to see you in things. But before we go too far here, I think we've got a lot of questions.
Oh,
this
my
week.
goodness.
So, let's start out with somebody named Perry. And you're probably going to remember Perry because we've actually answered a couple of Perry's questions.
That sounds familiar.
And it turns out they were both in the same episode.
Oh. Oops.
So here's Perry.
We didn't pick up that it was Perry and Perry?
No. Here we go. Perry says, thank you for answering my questions on the latest episode. I am both Turquoise Duran and Perry.
Nice.
So she was a few episodes ago. I'm not sure if you remember her, but she says, sorry, the last question was a downer. I will be writing down an ungrateful list and buying Slinkies for everyone next Christmas.
Oh my gosh!
So if you don't remember Perry's 2 questions, one of them was she doesn't, she goes to Christmas with a big family and she doesn't have enough money to buy presents for everyone, just a few of her closest family members. So we suggested getting something small and fun for
everybody.
And the other question she had was just, with everything being as it is right now, how do you get through the
we talked about
of life with COVID and all this
stuff?
stuff?
Anti-gratitude list.
The anti-gratitude list. So she's going to be doing
wonderful.
both.
That was a real, like, dust the hands, getting a lot of follow-ups done at once.
Right? And both from the same episode, which is very odd because I actually pulled one of her questions from a few weeks ago. I had been sitting on it for a while.
She's been writing every week,
I guess, with new names each week. But yeah, so
tune in next time for an all Perry episode.
Perry. The next question I don't think is from Perry, but who knows? You never know. They say their name is Justin.
Justin.
And Justin says, "Hello, my name is Justin. I just found out you officiate weddings.
Oh.
I'm getting married June 17th of this year. It would be the coolest thing ever if you could officiate mine. I have been the biggest fan of yours for the longest time." And I know there's no question here.
Clark just giving me a little hokey self-promotion.
A little plug for my friend. I want people to know how to get a hold of you if they want you to officiate their wedding, because you officiated my wedding.
Yes.
And it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
It was fun.
Everyone loved that
wedding. And we just got a question maybe a couple weeks ago from the mother of the groom.
Yes,
that I married in Vegas.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I will say, Justin, I'm supposed to be at my friend's birthday, but on June 17th. I'm just looking at my calendar.
Yeah, you're actually checking your calendar.
But I can get out of that. It's fine. She's getting a house for like a week. I'm like, I don't need to big chill for a week. I can be a big chill for 3.5 days.
Sure.
But, yeah, I love officiating weddings. Yeah. Well, you can write to me at wedbylb.com. That's a website. And yeah, you can just write me an email there.
Yeah, there you go.
So that is the way to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
I just got another, it's like people write, I give them the information. They all don't come through.
Yeah.
This email from a chickie, and she said, I love my wife so much. Our wedding 12 years ago was nothing that we wanted it to be.
Wow.
And so I want to surprise her with this. And she went on this whole thing about what she does. She's like, as a fan of wrestling, I took her to some wrestling thing. I can't remember. But it made me tear up. It was just so really, really swell.
Wow. Honestly, the funniest thing is I've been going through some old stuff, and I found this giant storage drive.
Okay.
And I plugged it in, think like, I don't know, clue what's on here. And it was just hours and hours of raw footage from our wedding that you officiated. And I was going through and looking through stuff, and it reminded me, not only do you write a very sweet and funny, personal wedding, like the whole ceremony, but the best part is that you still get you. Right?
Yeah.
And so in weddings, there's constantly little things that go wrong, that mess up, that somebody says this, somebody coughs too loud.
Yeah.
And you are you, so you comment on that, and it just makes it 10 times funnier.
Yeah, I like to run with it.
It's great, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that they could get you to do that.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, and I should say the chickie that made me cheer up, they're doing it because they said they said, their wedding wasn't supposed to be. They want to do a vow renewal.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So then I wrote her back, gave her the information, and I went back to look at it, and autocorrect. What I ended up saying was, "I'm free the day of your vowel renewal." And I'm like, oh, fuck. I had to write her back and just be like, autocorrect to the rescue. I'm so embarrassed. Smiley face.
Like originally she was Cindy with a Y, but then now she had to be renewing it to Cindy with an I.
The state of New York won't accept the I.
Vowel renewal.
Better than bowel renewal.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I wanted to throw those in.
Okay, thank you, Clark.
Yeah, no problem. But let's move on to another question. This is from Christopher. And Christopher says, I found a stray cat just before Christmas and decided to take it in. In just these few weeks since, it has tripled in size. It's very antisocial and a bit ferocious. And rather than cat food, it seems to only want raw meat. I'm running out of room in my apartment, and to be fair, I'm running out of places to toss all these bones. What gives and what should I do?
Oh, dear. Well, the thing about the bones may be a joke or make it fake.
Yeah.
My other theory is that he actually has Audrey, too.
Yeah.
He needs to research that play/movie. Or if this is a real question, I'm just going to go with it like it's real, like there even is a Christopher. It sounds that it's very possible that you took in a pregnant cat.
Oh.
And that pregnant cat has been tripling in size.
Wow.
And that pregnant cat is being protective and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Because her little cat hormones are going crazy. So that's what I thought when you were like, it's tripling in size.
Wow, that's a very good idea.
And if those kittens come out looking like you, Christopher, not cool. I'm wondering, though, if it's so ferocious, how did he get it in?
Yeah, and is that the kind of thing where you're just dealing with all of the wounds and constantly putting on more Band-Aids every time you try and feed this wild creature that you feed?
If you can. I mean, I don't know if he has other cats. I think if he had other cats, he would have mentioned, and she killed them.
Yeah.
She devoured them.
Exactly.
If you can get a cat carrier and smush this cat in, I would take the cat to the vet.
Yeah.
Because it's quite conceivable that if it's a she, that she is pregnant.
Yeah, that is a very, very astute comment. I think that's
then it might be little kitties.
Yeah, but maybe then they'll all be ferocious and antisocial.
You just have to throw in like a side of beef. Didn't they do that in Jaws?
Yeah, exactly.
Just throw it in. Oh, no, like in the Piranha movie, I think they did that.
Or in Jurassic Park, where they just drop the cow into the pen. And they pull out the empty scraps.
Take that kitty to the vet.
Yes.
And if it's truly untenable and hurtful, it just emotionally, she doesn't like me. She might not be an indoor cat or whatever, but either way, get her checked out because she might have kitty tummy.
Here's my question. Can you take an outdoor street cat that you find and train it to be a house cat?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
I just spent time when I was in Vermont with such a cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Such a cat that my friend that I stayed with, where did he live? Savannah in Georgia.
All right.
He moved back to Vermont and took the cat.
Huh?
The cat she was good, and she always wanted her food. It's like, you just got it. But she would let me hold her. Any cat, it's like when they're done, they're like, goodbye.
Of course.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And then there's those cats that go halfway in and they can go. It's like, well, I got to let them outside.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. That's okay. That's good. All right, well then, hopefully that helps, Christopher. Like I said, these first few questions are kind of quick here. We're going to move on to the next question. This is from Curvy Girl DC.
Oh.
And this is a very simple question, but woo, there's lots of potential here.
Okay.
Happy New Year. Where should I move to? I've been trying to decide. That's it. That's all she gives us.
Thanks for all the information that might help me give you some advice.
Now, her name is Curvy Girl DC.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I'm assuming she lives in DC or just is anti-Marvel.
Right.
Either way. So maybe she lives in Metropolis.
Exactly.
But if you're in DC, part of DC is that it's very congested. Part of DC is the hot, sweaty, humid winters and the cold. What does it get cold winters? Because it's pretty far south, isn't it?
DC? No, it totally
is it
snows
north?
in. Yeah, it's north. It'll get snowy and cold.
Okay,
and
so you've got those swings. And DC is not a state, so she is not represented in the Senate.
That's exactly right.
And even in the House, their representative doesn't get a vote.
Which I don't understand, because that was the whole taxation without representation thing. If you live in DC, you shouldn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah. That's what their license plates say. Taxation without representation.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's bullshit. And I just listened to, actually, I sound so knowledgeable, but I just listened to my favorite podcast, Stuff You Should Know, who did Why Isn't DC a State?
Oh, wow.
And like everything else that we wonder why, it's based on racism and greed. So I'm sure we can fix that by the end of the show. But, so Curvy Girl, DC. Based on the pitfalls or problems that you could want to get away from in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just make a cool, ironic swap and move to Washington State.
Hey, there you go.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, very green.
And mellow.
Yeah.
And like lots of apples.
It's true.
So that, I mean, just for the story, you're like, I moved from Washington to Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, I live in Washington now, but I thought you moved. I did. Part of this is like, I wish I knew more about what things cost and where.
Yeah,
I might have even talked about on the show. I was just fed up with everything. And I Googled least expensive towns in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there's one in Michigan that was like, I could do this.
Oh.
And then the rest of them were definitely, don't tell them you grew up Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, those won't work.
Yeah.
But I got that in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Whatever, Michigan.
All right.
So you could look at that, not knowing anything else about you. Sometimes our writers and callers give us too much information.
Yeah, a novel.
Exactly.
And then sometimes we get 3 words.
So there is that. There is the concept of if you have family, do you want to move near them? Do you want to move farther away from them?
Yep.
I don't know. Seattle seems like a thing.
Yeah,
but it's expensive. That's the thing too. It's like, what's your job?
Yeah.
Can you write back to us with more information? Sincerely. Write back to us, Curvy Girl DC. I'm giving, like, I'm really spitballing, because if you were like, well, I teach tennis, I won't be like, go to, I don't know, I guess you could play tennis anywhere.
Well, it'd probably be hard to play tennis in Alaska.
Well, no, that's a misnomer. Misnomer. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
LB.
Wow, that was we're gonna remember this episode.
That was pretty good. That for being awful. Well, I'll tell you why it's good. Because when I do something like that, I telegraph that I know it's awful.
Oh yeah,
but it's still clever.
It's true.
But somebody said once, clever is the eunuch version of funny. I think that was on a Simpsons DVD commentary.
I like that.
It really depends on your priorities. And that list includes family, pro or con.
Right.
It involves job opportunities, pro and con.
Right.
Then you get into weather, like I can't take another winter. Oh, we're going to talk about, just when I say now, like, I can't take another winter here.
Yeah.
That's going to come up later in the thing we're going to do for our segment.
Okay. Yeah.
I just got the shivers saying that.
Okay.
So stay tuned. So I think that's the first step, is to make a list of what's most important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And go with that in your search.
Can I throw one thing out here?
You may.
If Curvy Girl DC is writing us, I'm assuming they listen to us.
Yes.
I'm assuming they're a fan of us. If you're a fan of us, move somewhere where you're going to be the most helpful.
Yeah.
Move someplace where they need somebody to tell them to put on a goddamn mask.
Oh, dear.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it
yes,
going to be harder
but then
for
I
you?
don't want her to be like, I'm going to Arizona to stand in the streets.
But then we'd have another warrior in
I know.
Arizona. We need help. We need people out there to help us spread the word of stop being assholes to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm supposed to do a convention or con, as they call them. And
Really?
it's booked a long time ago.
Oh, I'm
so it was
sure.
like, everything will be fine by then.
Right.
But now it's in just a couple months. My agent sent me because they know I'm useless. So they made a little thing for me to post to promote it.
Okay.
And I'm like, this isn't going to happen.
Is it live? Like, get
it's
together?
It's in Hartford, Connecticut.
Woof.
At the Hartford, Connecticut Convention Center on like March 11th.
Wow.
It's a few days, but I'm like, is that going to happen?
Wow.
I mean, I really like money, however.
It has been spiking so bad. I saw something yesterday that Panda Express was closing their dining in option again. Things are bad. You can't do another damn con.
Yeah. So it could really be just canceled.
Yeah.
They canceled Sketchfest in San Francisco.
Okay.
So you could also, Curvy Girl DC,
yeah.
That's another thing to look for is the politics of places.
Yeah, right?
Like me when I looked up the 10 cheapest towns and was like, nah. You could see what you're comfortable with. Yeah. I mean, you could be African American. You could be whatever.
Yeah.
And be like, so that's not a great option, which is fucking shitty to have to say. And yet, there's some truth and there's some protection that you need to have in mind.
Yeah.
But make the list of your top priorities.
Right. And then send us that list.
Well, yes, then send us that list.
Then we can give you some good recommendations.
Yeah, but even with your top priorities, print out a U.S. map.
Okay.
And then if you're like, I don't want to be in this cold winter, you can X out a certain amount of states.
Totally.
And maybe you narrow it down that way. Although I'm picturing like the FBI coming to her house and there's a U.S. map with all things crossed off. They're like, get on the floor.
I have another question. Have you ever thought about moving somewhere just because it has a funny name? Like, have you ever wanted to live in Kalamazoo or Walla Walla?
Or Truth and Consequences?
Yeah.
I said Nevada? I don't know where that one is.
I don't know.
No, I don't think I have.
I mean, I certainly, every time I drive by XXYXZ or whatever it's called, I'm like, that would be awesome to live on XXYXZ.
Yeah, I wonder if I always say is Zizix.
Zizix? I think that's right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I have passed that recently and gone, what? It's just tic-tac-toe or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So write us back, Curvy Girl DC.
Yes. And
give us some more specifics, and then I will be able to give you some more specifics.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be very helpful. But before we go on to any more questions, I think it's about that time.
And now, another rousing segment of LB Helps You Waste Your Life.
Aha!
Yeah.
So I mentioned in an earlier question for like 10 minutes ago, like it was a year ago, about I can't spend another winter here. We talked way early on in this podcast. We were talking about things to binge during the pandemic. We'll have to do a new list.
I know.
Since if you already binged those. But one of the things we mentioned was a show on Netflix called Documentary Now.
Yeah.
Is it by Netflix or was it on IFC?
It's IFC, yeah.
But it's available on Netflix. And it's just really great. It's some SNL guys. It's Bill Hader, Seth Meyers, Fred Armisen, and one other person who I'm so sorry.
Isn't it Mulaney?
Oh, John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
Yeah. And there's a couple other people. It's produced by Lauren Michaels.
Yeah.
So each episode is like half an hour long. There's there's a couple two-parters.
Yeah.
But everyone is a parody of another real documentary.
Right. So other than the two-parters, every single episode looks nothing like any of the other episodes.
Yeah.
Because it's more supposed to be parodying.
Yeah, it's a parody.
Specific documentary.
Yeah, and that includes the subject matter, and that includes the style of just filming. The thing of the thing. You see, I have a long history in production. It looks like the things and sounds like the stuff. But so I was rewatching that, which I've watched it a bunch of times.
My God, I love it.
And then I just got it in my head because I was watching the very first one is a parody of Grey Gardens.
Yes, yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm sick of still having never seen Grey Gardens.
Oh, nice.
And if you don't know, Grey Gardens is the name of the house and estate.
Okay.
Where the family that's related to Jackie Bouvier Kennedy.
Right.
They were the Bouviers, the mother and daughter.
Okay.
Shit happened in their life and blah, blah, blah. They end up just staying in this house together for like 50 years. It's dilapidated to the nth degree, to the point where the police come in or the health, whatever, to like condemn it.
Right.
And it's just these two characters, the mother and the daughter, and it's really rough.
But when you say they stay in the house their whole, like, this is like not hoarder, but where they almost refuse to leave the house. Like,
yeah, well, that was the thing. Like, we're never leaving.
Yeah.
Because I also watched after that, I'll get back to it in a minute. I watched the documentary, then I watched a movie made starring Drew Barrymore as the daughter and Jessica Lange as the mother.
Wow, that was about was it called Grey Gardens?
Yeah, it was called Grey Gardens. And it was really cool because they recreated scenes from the documentary.
Wow.
But then it was the flashback that told their lives and how they ended up like this. So that was really good. That one was fiction. And to a certain degree, a documentary is also edited for whatever.
Sure.
And then there was another one that was just unseen footage from the Grey Gardens documentary.
Oh, wow.
But it's really rough, and their house is disgusting, and there's raccoons in it, and cat shit everywhere, and all these cats, and these women are just still kind of in denial. And the daughter, she's the one that's like, I can't stay here I can't take another winter in the country. And she's delusional about I could have married this person and I'm the great dancer. And she's really putting on a show for the camera guys.
Camera crew.
You know, who are like the directors. But it's very sad. It's heartbreaking. It's gross. It's all of these things. And I'm watching it and I was like, I don't know if this makes me feel better or worse. Is that me or not?
Oh, no.
And if so, am I the mother or the daughter?
Oh, no.
I have no cats or raccoons. But yeah, so it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a really famous documentary, which is saying something since no one gives a shit about documentaries.
Right.
But I watched last night, there's a 2-part episode of documentary now called Batshit Valley.
Oh, yeah, about the cult.
Yes, so it's about a cult, a long-bearded Indian guru, and this woman who is younger and Indian and just kind of a bitch and goes out. She doesn't give a shit.
Right.
And she goes on talk shows and stuff, and it's like they take over this poor town.
Yeah,
literally.
That's just like the documentary now.
So that's what the documentary now thing is about.
Wow.
Except Owen Wilson
plays the guru.
But like, I realize it's like hard to parody this shit because it's already so outlandish.
Nuts. Yeah.
So outlandish. But in the actual documentary is what happens in the documentary now, which is they have the numbers because it's a small town.
Right.
So the cult all registers to vote, and they change the name of the town.
No!
Yeah.
Really? Wait,
yeah.
what is the real documentary called?
It's called Wild Wild Country. I did not say that.
Country.
And it's something that I put on my now we're in COVID Netflix queue.
Yeah.
Like not even last March 2020.
Ooh.
Remember how hopeful? I was not hopeful.
God.
So it's really interesting to watch the documentaries based on it.
That's how you're helping people waste their life. Not only are you recommending Documentary Now, which is just top-notch entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
But to then go and do the little digging and research and find the actual documentary.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite documentary now is Co-op.
Yes.
Co-op, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Is their parody of, is it Steven Schwartz's company?
Stephen
Sondheim's company.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah, that's true. But they made a documentary about the making of the cast album.
Yeah, it's them in a studio all night.
Right. It's not, they aren't on stage. It's not about the play at all. It's just about the making of the cast recording.
Yeah, and it's really great, and there's great performances in it. Of course I suck. I don't know anyone's name. But the chickie that played Angelica from the Rugrats. No. And she was actually a friend of mine.
Oh, really?
The chickie that played Angelica in Hamilton, the original cast.
Right.
She's the main character of the show Co-op.
Yes.
So it's really good. But I am saying watch documentary now and check out these real documentaries.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I guess, saying if you think of anything else while you're watching something, go watch it. And never go to sleep like me. Go to bed at 3:30 in the morning last night,
right? And
wake up at 7 to go help your dad take his refrigerator apart.
Oh God!
The ice machine's not working.
Oh man!
So we have taken it apart.
Wow! How was your first night without the magic bed? Because we have that bed that you just love here.
Yeah, it's a great bed. It was, you know what the nicest part was?
What?
Was because I would go visit where I live and see my friend that I live with.
Right, and the dogs. Yeah,
and like the dogs be like, laying on me and snuggling, and I'd be like, I've gotta go.
Oh,
so,
yeah, but you have to go to spend time with other dogs.
I know, but it was really nice to, it wasn't really like, bed for bed or anything, but it was just really nice to be like, I don't have to leave you, dog.
Yeah.
You can eat some more of my important documents.
Oh.
How does my birth certificate taste? Is that delicious? Good boy.
Sorry, I know that's straying from the topic.
Oh, is it?
Helping people waste their life.
Yeah, I just think, you know what? I'm going to pitch just documentaries. It's really interesting stuff.
I agree. I mean, I think you're right. We probably do need to make a new list of things to binge. Because the fucking pandemic is never gonna
if Omicron gets us, we'll have to lock down again.
Yeah, right.
But if we have to lock down, you know how to waste your life in a way that will please me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really what's most important.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the most important thing. But now that we've helped people waste their life, I think it's time to get back to one final question.
Okay.
And this is actually a pretty good question. It's pretty deep. It's from Cheryl.
Okay.
And Cheryl says, Happy New Year, love. A little
That's
purple
nice.
heart. She says, wishing you all the love, happiness, and continued success. You're amazing.
Thank you.
So sweet.
The end.
The end. Then she says, I know it's supposed to be for bad advice, so I could definitely take some humor here. So I was very sad, and I decided in October 2020 that I was going to change everything, and I was going to lose weight. I never thought I'd succeed, if I'm honest, but since then, I've lost 153 pounds.
Wow.
I thought that would solve it all. I'd look fabulous and I'd feel fabulous. The only problem is that I have body dysmorphia and I can't see any of the changes I made looking down at my body. And so I'm still sad. And I have no self-esteem or confidence, and it's torture in this brain. So what's your advice on how to love me?
Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's awful and great.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations on let me know what you did.
Yeah, seriously.
But I know somebody wrote in recently and was like, what should I do besides go to therapy? But he said it wasn't like, because that's what you tell everyone, but he was like, because I'm already in the process of doing it.
Right.
So Cheryl, you do need to find a therapist or a counselor or something like that.
Yeah.
Because body dysmorphia is real.
Yeah.
Body dysmorphia and is very intertwined with a lot of eating disorders. That's why an anorexic will look in the mirror and go like, I'm so fat. And they're nothing but shoulder blades and hip bones.
Yeah.
And they're still seeing it. They're not in reality.
Right.
And that is definitely a mental state to seek outside help for?
Yeah.
Besides me. I really appreciate this question. I can relate to a lot of it.
Yeah.
But please, remember, I am not a medical professional. And even though it's called bad advice, I give good advice.
Oh, yeah.
I have a whole horrible life to draw from. And unfortunately, here we go.
Yeah, here we are.
Personally, I was just talking to somebody about this. There's kind of this, I don't know if this is off topic or not, but I guess it could be on topic. When the Native Americans were whatever, I have this concept in my head. It's really black and white thinking of this side and that side. I think I've been living my life unhappily in my body, dealing with the emotional problems that cause my weight, that cause my eating disorder, that cause a lot, and all the shit that comes with that.
Yeah.
And I have it in my head. It's like, well, if I can find someone who wants me like this, I'll really know that they love me. And then I can take that support and I can work on it and I can have comfort and I can work through my problems and become the person I want to be.
Right.
Or lose weight.
Right.
And then after several disappointments, shall I say?
Yeah.
I was like, well, if that wasn't going to work, then I just need to lose a lot of weight because that's all that matters. And I'll get, quote unquote, I've said, to the other side. But then we might have covered this before because I've been fat through all of these episodes. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
A couple things have changed.
Yeah.
Because I did, just so you know, I have a therapist. I have another therapist that strictly focuses on eating disorders. So there is that very specific option or resource available to you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
But any therapist could do, but I happen to be like, fuck, this is the main thing. For those of you that don't know, this isn't the most famous podcast, Bad Advice. There's another one called This American Life.
If you want to check out a second podcast for some odd reason.
A struggling little startup.
We'll give them a little boost.
Yeah. They've been on for like a million years and they're awesome. But I think it was about somebody who had lost a lot of weight. It was a woman. And she was just like kind of where I'm at. Was like, you know what? I haven't got a man. I'm not getting jobs. I'm not doing this. I'm going to lose weight and see if that's all it really is.
Right.
And it was.
Really?
And she lost a lot of weight and she got attention from guys and she got a promotion at work and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, yep.
Yeah.
And what kind of haunts me is this scene. I mean, it's radio. It's only audio.
Right.
But she gets married, all that kind of stuff. And she has this conversation with her husband. And she says, if you had met me before, you wouldn't have liked me.
Yeah.
Basically, if you'd known me when I was fat, you wouldn't have been interested in me at all.
Right.
And her husband, poor husband is like, I can't answer that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that haunts me because that's how I think it won't matter. It won't count.
Right.
But then again, I it's been pointed out to me by many people that if I were able to lose weight healthfully, which would mean I was getting through some of my issues and some of the trauma and that kind of shit, I would change. I would change. It wouldn't change who I am.
Yeah.
But I would change and evolve as a person.
Right.
That's the thing where I almost don't want to go there because I'm just going to be on the other side going, well, this is great. And look, I'm getting all these dates and that's so great. But, and there's other reasons not to want to date me. Don't get me wrong, guys. So I feel like Cheryl is having a little bit of that experience where it was like, well, I lost all this weight and everything's going to be great. But if you don't deal with the issues, nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
And that kind of seems to be what's going on. Now, she says that she had body dysmorphia after.
Yeah.
She doesn't specifically say that.
No,
but
not
she
at
doesn't
all.
say that prior.
She had body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you're right.
Otherwise, she might have just thought she was thin. I saw that once it was like a behind the music of Heart.
Okay.
Which Heart is an awesome band. I know you're all not 100 years old. But the lead singer, one of the sisters, when you're a superstar or an actor, everyone's like, oh, you're fat, this and that. And I remember she said, yeah, I guess they say that. She was, maybe I have body dysmorphia the other way because I think I look great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that really stuck with me too.
I love that.
But I have those 2 weight-related memories that stick with me. They fight it. Which one wins, Clark? The one that I feed.
Oh.
So I have 2 fat wolves in my head.
Oh, man.
So to probably say, I want to change my life, Cheryl says, I lost 153 pounds, which is probably half her body weight.
And can I just point out, you and I started recording episode 1 of Bad Advice with Lori Beth Denberg in November of 2020. She started doing this in October of 2020. She lost 153 pounds in the time that we have recorded this podcast.
Wow.
That's really fucking impressive.
She made good use of the pandemic.
Right? I swear, I feel bad about myself now. Thanks a lot, Cheryl.
Yeah, Cheryl. She's like, I don't have body dysmorphia about you, though, LB. You look terrible.
Oh.
That is phenomenal accomplishment for your health, for your, all the stuff I just said about, like, if I lost weight, yes, it would affect a lot of other things probably positively.
Right.
I'm afraid I'll get to the other side because life is black and white and fake to me because that's not quite a real thing apparently according to independent friends. So I can understand if you're having that feeling like I went to all this trouble or you have this fantasy about what it's going to be like if I can lose this weight and now you're here. And you're like, I'm still miserable. I have no self-esteem. But the body dysmorphia, if you're looking in the mirror and you're still seeing the 153 pounds on you.
Right.
Or if you're going, I need to lose another 80, which would probably make you like weigh 7 ounces.
Yeah.
It's possible. Like I said, she lost 50% of her body weight.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Hopefully you have a little left. Because we know from past episodes you need some butt fat to plump your lips. Maybe that's, let's give her really bad advice. What you need is a lot of plastic surgery.
Oh, God, no, don't do that.
Do you have a cleft chin? Do you want one? Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, wait, I have a question.
Yes.
And if this is too personal.
Well, let me know.
Do you have a fear that if you lost weight, you'd be less funny?
I don't know. And I believe someone's asked me that question on the air before.
Really?
Dr. somebody. It was not Dr. Oz.
Dr. Phil?
It was not Dr. Phil. It was, I don't know who, Dr. someone. A lesser doctor.
Dr. Zayas.
He was an intern. And it was about being fat and all this kind of stuff. And I was the actress. And I think at the end, he goes kind of that exact thing.
Yeah.
If we could push a button.
Boom, you're skinny.
You're thin, but it might change what you are. And I said, I don't know. Let's push that button. Because I don't know. Being fat, awkward, all this kind of stuff is what leads to coping skills like being funny. Helping people to a stupid degree sometimes.
When you're suffering by helping others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to think about my life.
Yeah.
I'm busy with yours. I don't know if I think I'd be less funny. I think maybe if I was... This is interesting. Before I say something that might be interesting, I'll say I think it's interesting. That the kind of jokes I make, which I'm pretty good on this show.
Yeah.
But I make a lot of outrageous sexual things, like all that.
Sure.
I think I might feel way more vulnerable.
Interesting.
And not maybe put that out there so much. That's a real possibility.
That's very interesting.
Because I had lost weight at some point. When I was on the Steve Harvey show, there was a hiatus, like a summer, where I was going to a trainer.
Oh, wow.
Twice a week, like super serious.
Wow.
But not eating well. I would go hike a canyon to do cardio,
Okay.
go to Del Taco, get a bunch of food, and then go to the gym to work out. So clearly...
Not because somebody told you to, though, right?
No,
This
that
was
wasn't
just
part
because
of the
you?
training. I think I had the checklist, like walk canyon, go to gym, self-sabotage, clean out car.
Right.
So I had to tick all the boxes.
Right, of course.
So I had lost weight, and I did feel more vulnerable. So I think I know where you're coming from, Cheryl, but if you truly have this body dysmorphia, if you truly are depressed and have no self-esteem and cannot see any progress, it's really something you need to seek help from a professional.
Yeah.
From a professional mental health person.
Yeah.
You could even, if you're comfortable with your GP or PCP, which they're the same thing but different, from a regular doctor to ask for guidance.
Yeah.
Or call your insurance company. Please do that, because there's a couple choices, which is to keep hating yourself every day.
Yeah.
There's the body dysmorphia is telling you need to lose more weight and more weight and more weight
right.
until your hair falls out and your kidneys fail.
Right.
Or there's like, I'm just going to gain the weight back because whatever. And then you're back where you started.
Yeah.
You said, I was really sad. I decided I was going to lose weight.
Well, even more, because if you're ballooning back, back and forth, that's even worse for your body.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Even your mirror's like, I can't tell anymore. But yeah, body dysmorphia is a legitimate diagnosis.
Yes.
So it's real, and it can have, it has dire consequences.
Yes.
It has absolutely dire consequences.
Yeah.
So,
I hope you don't have any stigma. Honestly, we need to get rid of all these stupid stigmas against seeing somebody, getting therapy. It's so ridiculous. If you need it, you need it.
Yeah.
And
you
kind of need
well,
it.
you need it. But, that's my sincere wish, is that you seek out some actual help for this.
Yeah.
And then let me know what they tell you, and then I can jump on board.
If you still have questions out there, or you have a decision that's weighing heavily on you, please send it to us and let LB ease your burden. Send us your problems at AskLoriBeth.com. You can follow us on all the socials at AskLoriBeth, or just leave a message with your voice at 1-855-336-2374. That's 1-855-DENBERG or 1-855-Denberg.
And you can find me at LB Denberg on Instagram, at Lori Beth Denberg on Twitter, and the Lori Beth Denberg fan page on Facebook. You can also book me for a personalized video for a friend or foe.
Yeah.
At cameo.com/Lori Beth.
Thank you guys so much. We will talk to you next week.
Goodbye, Bubs.
Bad Advice stars Lori Beth Denberg and Clark Crozer. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balon, and part of the Seltzer Kings network. Our theme song is written and performed by Natty Ward. If you or someone you love is in need of some bad advice, you can submit your own question on our socials, all of which are Ask Lori Beth, or on our website at AskLoriBeth.com, or for a nostalgic twist, you can call 1-855-DENBERG. That's right, 1-855-336-2374, and leave your question there. Thanks for listening.